have to like what we're seeing so far from J.J. Redick.
Yeah, he played a very mature first half offensively, just finding gaps and making good decisions, getting into the defense and knocking down shots.
Well, the way he played that first half, that's exactly what we're talking about when we say offensive efficiency.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Gentlemen, there's no doubting Chris Paul has always been a feisty competitor. Former teammate Tyson Chandler affectionately called him, quote, the angry little point guard, saying the dominance of his personality enabled him to control his teammates. And Doc Rivers, newly hired as head coach of the Clippers, said he didn't know Chris that well yet, mostly just from breaking up fights between him and Rajon Rondo. He said, quote, the first time I ever touched Chris Paul, I was trying to pull him away from my guy. I like players that have a fire about them, so I've always liked Chris because of that. Kevin?
Well, he knows. We've seen some real battles between those two. Thanks to us.
Well, you know, one of the toughest commodities to find in this league, Kevin, is a great point guard, not only on the floor, but off the floor. Chris Paul is a model leader. He's a guy who is probably as talented as any point guard in the league, but his leadership qualities, I think, put him over the top.
You know, it isn't just the inspiration off the court or making big-time baskets. I mean, the way he passes is infectious to his team. I mean, it's contagious, and it usually ends up permeating the whole team. Same goes for his defense. I mean, he'll come up with that big steal and can completely change the momentum with the kind of plays he can make at both ends of the floor.
Bosch drives in. He passes to Chalmers. Back to Bosch. Good ball movement here by the Heat. The feed now to Chalmers. Wade outside. Kicks it to Bosch. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. And that's 12 points for Chris Bosch.
One thing that Wade has improved upon over the last few years is his ability to make better decisions. He used to turn the ball over considerably, but of course playing with LeBron an awful lot has meant that he's cut down on his usage rate as well.
Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. That is good. And 11 points for Blake Griffin.
And that's 4 straight from the field, guys. Off to a quick start this third quarter.
And for Wade, of course, not turning it over as much of late. He also was not asked to create as often as he was before LeBron joined the Heat, but in doing so, he became a much more efficient player.
Well, I tell you what, I think it's really undervalued how much Dwayne Wade has sacrificed and adapted his game to welcome LeBron. I mean, he's become one of the best in the league at moving without the ball, making timely, sharp, hard cuts to the rim. He's got a great understanding and intelligence of how he plays the game, and as he showed us, he can still go get it when he needs to.
And Haslam kicks to Bosch. And there's the 3-second violation.
Bone-headed play, guys, plain and simple.
Yep, brain fade is what I like to call it. There's no way they're getting out of the hole making mistakes like that.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. All up top, defended by Chalmers. Dudley, the pass to Jordan. Jordan off a pick from Dudley. A timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. Jordan's got his second bucket. The Heat trail by 20.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year, you know, Battier coming in here as a stretch forward. They just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
Paul with the ball, now guarded by Haslam. Feeds it to Mullins. Jordan, a follow-up flush.
Showing us a little force on that putback, Kev.
Well, there was no way he was going to let that chance slip away.
No, sir.
You got to love his positioning. As the shot went up, he anticipated that play.
Here's Dudley. Here's Paul. And it's Wade with the rebound.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Deflects the pass. Here's Mullins. Paul with the ball. Wade picks him up. A look from Crawford. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
Well, you know, when they need a big three, he's the guy they look to. He's about as reliable a deep threat as you're going to find.
And something else he has on his resume are his ball skills. What a ball handler and dribbler. I mean, he looks like he was born with a basketball in his hands. It looks like it's part of his body.
Goes up. Hammers it home to polish off the break. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive, attacking and coming away with steals.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively, and they've been turning those turnovers into points.
The kick out to LeBron. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. Paul with the ball. 9 points in the game so far. Back to Griffin. Shoots a three. Can't hit. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. And it's Wade penetrating. LeBron kicks to Bosh. Ray Allen is on the wing. LeBron outside. Inside to Bosh. There's the dish to Cole. Bosh defended by Mullins. Clock at 4. Wade for 3. Again, the miss by the Heat.
Their offense seems completely out of sync here. They're on the wrong end of a big run.
And then at the other end, it's been bucket after bucket after bucket, giving up a huge run here.
LeBron dishes to Cole. Gives him the lead pass. Looking to end the run. Bosh passes to Cole. That's good. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. And here is Paul. Griffin sets the screen for Paul. Crawford. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 6 assists now in the game.
Very effective screen to set up the jumper. That was the key to that play.
Bosh with the bucket. Bosh has got 6 in the quarter.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Crawford kicks to Paul. Back to Crawford. Pass to Mullins. Wide open. And that one goes long.
An easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while.
The 3 quarters of play. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know.
The difference between being a dominant or a good team and mediocrity is the ability to win on the road. The Clippers secured their spot as one of the NBA's elite teams last season because they showed the ability to get it done on the road.
It's Anderson with the drive. And stolen by Barnes. Now here's Collison. A floater. Oden with the rebound. And the Clippers with one of the better road records in the Western Conference last year, going 24-17. Steve, actually tied for the second most road wins in the West, only behind the Thunder.
And believe it or not, Kevin, it's the first time the Clippers franchise has ever had a winning record on the road. Actually, I do believe that when you think back to Clipper history. But I'll tell you what, it's a team on the rise and a very interesting club to watch.
And he feeds it to Collison. Outside, Green takes the 3. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Green's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Clippers. Now, here is Battier, defended by Bullock. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Collison dishes to Barnes. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. And Cole kicks to Allen. Pass to Oden. Tipped away. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way.
And once he took off, it looked like the defense just had no interest in getting in his way.
That's one where you just give up the 2 points and move on.
Ray Allen is on the wing. Passes it to Anderson. That's good. And here is Los Angeles now. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. And is out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession.
Now that pass had just a little bit too much heat on it for him to make a clean steal.
Yeah, I think it would have been a tough catch for either of them.
And the Clippers making a change here. Mullins is checked in. He dishes it to Collison. Back to Green. Three-pointer. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Collison's got 3 assists now in this one. Allen kicks to Anderson. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Anderson's got 4 points this quarter.
You know, they really aren't putting up any resistance on the low block. That's the 5th consecutive basket inside.
And Steve, these looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Green kicks to Collison. There's the pass to Bullock. Just 5 on the clock. Green inside the three-point line. Here's Hollins. Here's Mullins. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score.
Well, they haven't gotten much production from him, but they remain in the league.
Allen outside. Lewis left side. He kicks to Cole. Back to Lewis. Heat moving the ball around. Poked away. Collison against Allen. Collison, the pass to Mullins. Green. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Here's Cole. He's covered by Collison. Back to Anderson. And it's good. Walk through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Really, they haven't worked it inside as much as they did earlier in the game. And the way they did it in the first half, I think they've got to get back to trying that. It worked for them then. It should work for them now.
Outside Collison. Green. From 17 feet out. Lewis on the way. Allen rejected by Bullock. 1:58 left to play in the final quarter. And here's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And that puts a cherry on top, so to speak, of what's been a phenomenal showing for them.
All over but the whining now, Steve.
To the middle and out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Matt Barnes is checked in for Los Angeles. Los Angeles has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Here's Collison. Anderson with the block. They retain possession. That free throw good from Hollins. And he can't hit the second.
The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great teams until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
Rejected by Barnes. Down low. Here's Bullock. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam. Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Barnes kicks to Collison. Dishes it to Barnes. 6 to shoot. Mullins is against Anderson from 6 feet. Mullins, no good. And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall skate to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
Collison, the pass to Bullock. There's the feed to Barnes. He passes to Hollins. Some solid defense from Anderson.
He was right there, but the defensive pressure forced that miss.
Well contested. That really made it a tough shot.
That's good.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Now Collison. So the Clippers winning this one easily. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey,